start talking about any of the knives in our line, I really want to talk about how we got to tactical style knives. And when I say tactical, I really mean self-defense. When we started making these knives, we wanted to have a line that people felt comfortable with. And I really was a fan of the reverse edge Pacao style knives. So I wanted to design something like that. So this knife right here is our Heimdall. We do still sell this, but it's very rare now because basically the knives in our tactical line function the same way as this and give you a little bit more added benefit. But this is how our tactical knives started. We wanted to create a design that was very comfortable for you to use, very easy to carry. And I do love this knife. It's a very nice knife. But with our new tactical line of knives, they all have this reverse edge capability. Even our Wanderer series of knives kind of have that capability as well, to where you can reverse edge in on a knife. But we wanted to create a tactical style knife, and we started with the Heimdall. The Heimdall is what has given us our modern day tactical line. It's given us the Raidho, it's given us the Raider, and the Talon is kind of its own thing. But in that tactical line, the Heimdall has really inspired all of those knives to be able to have that reverse edge capability, but not just reverse edge. The Heimdall is really only good for reverse edge style fighting. And so we wanted to create other knives that had that same capability and had other capabilities as well. So the first knife I want to talk to you guys about today is the Raider. This knife has been redesigned 3 different times. I wanted a Tonto style design in our line because I like them. They're good for stabbing, not necessarily good for slashing or anything like that, but they do have such a good point on there for stabbing. And so I wanted to find a way to make this knife a good knife in our line. It's went through different iterations. 3, this is actually the 3rd generation of knife. And if you would look at our first one, it's completely different. Why did we go to this style? Well, we wanted to find a knife that could really do the tactical world things very well. And reverse edge knives have become a really big thing in modern knife fighting. And so we wanted to kind of take that design, put it on a Tonto, and really make it an overall balanced knife. So if you look at this knife, the bottom right here is our basic Tonto style knife. Nothing crazy about that, just a basic Tonto. This gives you that good stabbing point right there. But what we did is we went in and we beveled this top edge. On this top edge right here, now you've got a 3.5 inch blade on the top as well. The bottom edge right here is 3 inches, and this angled edge is 1 inch. So we're on a typical knife that has a back edge and a bottom edge. That back edge is going to be a little bit shorter. On this reverse edge, it's actually longer than the bottom edge. So it also gives you that good stabbing still from that point, but it also gives you a long edge there for slashing as well. So it's basically like our Odin or our Ragnarok. And so it's going to have that good long slash there. But you also have a regular Tonto if you ever want to use that. This knife comes in at 7 3/4 inches long. Like I said, this bottom edge is 3 inches, the angled edge 1 inch, and the top edge 3.5 inches. Really gives you a good versatile little knife. The G10 is 3/16, so it's really thin, really light blade, and it's skeletonized also under these handles to keep this blade really light, really comfortable, really easy to carry. It'll give you a good knife for everyday use, or if you need a fighting knife, just a quick draw from the appendix to the throat or whatever you want to do, really gives you that option as well. So I'm really excited about this knife. I think it's different, and I love it. This is actually my knife that I carry the most in a situation where I think that I might need it for tactical or whatever. If I need to fight, I want to go with the Raider. So I'm excited about this knife, excited to get it out. We also sell this knife, a regular Tonto, in case you live in a state that doesn't allow you to have that top edge. That's fine. We sell a regular Tonto as well. So this is the Raider, and I hope you guys check this one out. If you definitely carry in a defense carry situation, this knife is perfect. Next up, we have our Raid Hoe. This is the second generation of Raid Hoe. The first generation was designed with Raul Martinez of Rogue Methods, and I just really liked the stuff that he was doing, so I told him I wanted to design a knife for him, and really become one of those things where people wanted it, so we made it available, and then we ran a limited amount and we stopped selling it, and so we came back with this design. This design basically is a dagger, typical dagger shape. The only difference is we did put jimping right here on the top, in case you wanted to buy a single edge version. You could use this like a bushcraft knife or whatever, but it is a dagger, so it's very good for stabbing. It's got a good reinforced tip with that ridge running straight down the tip, and so this knife also comes in 7 3/4 inches overall. This blade right here on the bottom is 3.5 inches. The blade on this one is 2.5 on top. The new ones are 3.5 or 3 inches on the top. So you do get a long blade on the top and a long blade on the bottom. Very good for stabbing, everyday self-defense. So we're excited about this one. This one is the same. Also has our black G10. This is our typical look for our knives. So it's got black G10 and it's skeletonized under here just to reduce weight. It's 3/16 inch steel, 1095, and it's also 3/16 inch black G10 just to keep this thing light and fast. So if you're looking for a dagger, a modern day style dagger, this one might fit your needs and it might be something that you're looking for. So you can check them out on the website and find more information about these, but this is the Raid Hoe Gen 2. So check them out. Last but not least, this knife is actually not new necessarily, but this is a new version of this knife. Here we have the new Talon. Originally the Talon was very small. It had about a 2-inch handle, and I really wanted to take this knife and design it to where it fits your hand. So when you put your hand in here, it's really made to fit all of your fingers and just balance in your hand really well. So I've also made a thin neck right here, so that way when your hands go in between it, there's a really good feel in there. It's not like your hands are spaced out too far apart. They're not cramped in there. It's a really comfortable fit. The version before this was just a skeletonized knife. I wanted to make a light self-defense carry knife that people could carry in a situation where they might not be able to carry a full-size knife, but they could carry something. And then we got a lot of requests to put handles on it. So I did. These are the black G10, and also the same thing here, 3/16, and it is skeletonized under here as well to keep this thing very light. This is a really nice knife. I wasn't really sure at first about it. I saw a lot of push daggers were popular, and so I wanted to just make one for people to have if they wanted something from me. But now that I've put handles on this thing, I really love it. It feels really good in the hand, really good for just stabbing, punching, whatever. And I really like this. I also love that it's so small when you carry it on your person. Even if you were to carry this outside the waistband, this thing is just going to conceal really well. And so it's really nice to have something that light, this small on your person in case you ever need it. So the Talon, this is 3/16 1095 as well. And like I said, we use that one because 1095 is very rigid, but it's also easy for you guys to sharpen at home. But the one thing I do want to tell you about the Talon is we don't sharpen our Talons near as sharp as we sharpen our other knives for a couple of reasons. One, you're not going to be able to really cut with this well. You might could try to use it as a box cutter, but it's really going to dig into your hand here. It's really made for a self-defense knife and a self-defense knife only. So that sharp edge is going to go in and go out no problem. But we don't want it over sharp to where if it hits a bone or something, it's going to crack. So we don't make these near as sharp, but they're designed that way. It's not because we don't want our knife sharp. It's because we don't feel like it's necessary on this knife. We don't want any edge damage in here in case you have to use this thing. But that is our Talon. This is our handled version. And these are available on the website on drops. So if you follow our Instagram, we usually post when we're dropping what knives and when they're dropping. So just follow us on our Instagram page and you can see that stuff for when these are available. But that is our Talon.